Hello and welcome back to All Things Notary. On this channel, we will be discussing all things pertaining to notary businesses. If you are a new notary, welcome. This is where I hope you can gain valuable and practical advice and tips about your notary business. And if you are a seasoned notary, welcome as well, as there may be something that you didn't know that you can learn along the way, and maybe add in the comments something for our new notaries if they do have questions. Today's topic is in regards to payment methods. As I shared before, I am a member of a couple of Facebook groups, and within those groups there are experiences shared and questions asked of how to do certain things. And so a new notary posed the question, what are the payment methods? And so only a couple of people, I believe, answered. I answered, and then another one said, cash only, always. And so I definitely wanted to speak about that because I offer a couple of methods for my customers to pay me. I definitely do offer cash, and cash is highly preferred. However, I do offer credit card and Zelle and PayPal and local check. And so I'll break those things down for you. So as I said, cash is preferred. Now, when you accept your cash, you want to be sure that you have change to make for the individual that does not have the exact amount for the service that you provided. So if your service was $60 and they gave you, $80 in 20s or $100 bill, then you've got to give them back change. And so one of the things that I didn't know as a new notary was to make sure to have change to give back. And so just like with any other business, or service that's offered where you're going to have to pay, where you're going to have to pay there at the time, you have to have, yourself prepared for that. And so I have a change bag that I have ordered from Amazon, and I'll link the type of cash bag that I use below. And I have ones and fives in the cash bag, and I also have some loose change. It's not often that somebody pays, that it's going to be 50 cents or, nothing like that. But if for whatever reason I ran out of dollar bills and all I have left are quarters, and I, owe them $5 or whatever, I don't know, then definitely I need to be able to give them that. So, like I said, having a cash bag is very important. Then the next thing that I offer is PayPal. And with PayPal, both you and your customer have to have PayPal so that they can pay you through their PayPal account, and it would go directly to your bank. And so that's always, an easy thing right there. We can do that, in the presence of the customer before they leave. Sometimes upon arrival, we can get that taken care of, get that out of the way. If the customer would like to pay with a credit card, that is something that I offer, and I appreciate that ability through PayPal. So what I do is through PayPal, my PayPal account, I will send an invoice, and what you do is you go to request, and and then you will put in the dollar amount that's owed to you. Because it is a credit card processing fee that will be charged to you, I always explain to the customer that this processing fee is going to be additional, and I will tack on another $2. 99.9% of my customers are perfectly okay with that. It's just an additional $2, and most people are familiar with that process. And so the customer does not have to have PayPal. They only need to have an email address that you're going to send the invoice to. And so when you send that request, they will get it momentarily, and then they can pay you right then and there in your presence. And that is very, very easy, much like having PayPal. Actually, I'm going to back up and say with PayPal, there is the friends and family or the goods and services. And the one thing that I dislike about paying with PayPal is the goods and services option, because a lot of people, customers, think because you did offer them a service, you did indeed offer them a service, that that's the right one to choose. Well, it is. I'm not going to argue the point, but it does take a percentage of your fee when you do that. And so if you've ever paid with PayPal, then you know with friends and family, there's no deductions taken. You get the whole amount. And so it's not anything that I'm going to ask someone, do you mind to pay, through friends and family? They're customers. I am providing a service. Excuse me. And so it is, important that they choose how they deem to be fitting for them. The next thing is Zelle. And with Zelle, Zelle, both you and your customer have to have that. And it works like PayPal as well, through your phone number or your email address. And when they pay, you will receive the money in your bank account momentarily. And so there's really, no waiting for any reason. It just takes seconds, literally seconds. So that's one of my customer faves. Whenever I say Zelle and they have Zelle, they're like, oh yes, I can pay with Zelle, and they're so excited. So I love that for them. The next option that I offer is local check. Local check specifically because if they pay me with a local check, I will take the check to the bank that the account is drawn on. And so if there are any non-sufficient fund fees that are associated with the customer not having the fees in their bank account, they will incur the charge and not me. And so that's very important. I don't really like to take checks, but I will say, if you have a local check, local to my area, then that is fine. And sometimes, they will say, well, I have Chase or Bank of America, and they decide against doing that because in my area, we don't have Chase or Bank of America. So they, wouldn't be able to do that. And then they'll get cash. And so it's perfectly fine. But that is something that I had to learn along the way, is that don't take the checks to your bank, because sometimes if people don't have the funds in their account, then you're going to be stuck with the non-sufficient funds fee. And that, of course, is not fun for anyone, because you then have to call your customer and tell them how you actually were not paid for your service. And then it might be trying to get your money afterwards. So, but those are the methods that I use, and I actually have never had a problem with any of them besides cash. Now, let me tell you a story about a customer paying me in cash, and about 20 minutes after I left, I found out that I was shorted by $10. And boy, was I upset about that. Now, I don't know if it was intentional. I don't think it was, but I did not go back to this person and say, hey, you shorted me $10. I didn't give her a call. I didn't do anything. I just ate it. New notaries, you will learn sometimes. You will make mistakes. You have to eat those mistakes. I did not personally feel like $10 was enough to argue the point. They could have easily, argued about it and say, no, I'm pretty sure I paid you this, this, and this. And, would have been very adamant about that, I, would assume. But, I made the mistake of not checking while I was in their presence and not counting the money and making sure it was all there. I was actually called back a few weeks later to complete another notarization for this person, and in their presence I did count it and make sure it was all there. So I definitely learned my lesson, and from now on I do that. I don't know that I hadn't been doing that, but at that particular time I didn't, and I don't know why I didn't, but I definitely do now, each and every time. So that's just something to think about, is to always count your money when you're in the presence of the customer. Make sure it's all there. Make sure that when they write a check, if you accept checks, that it's written for the right amount and that the right name is written on the check. I've also experienced being paid with my business name, my assumed business name, but my assumed business name is not affiliated with a bank account. Okay. Now, this was years ago when I was a new notary, when I had just first started my business. So that business name was not affiliated with the bank account. Now, I was paid with that business name on there and unable to cash the check because this business name is stated on this check, and I didn't have anything to support that is my business. I had to eat that too. And that was about 25 bucks, I think, for service that I completed virtually with someone. So, these things happen. Definitely want you to be prepared and know what to expect for certain experiences like this of mine. I don't want you to make those mistakes that I've made. So I hope you found value in this video. If you have a topic that you would like to have discussed and broken down, please leave me a comment. Also, please like and subscribe, and maybe even share this video with someone else who you know that's in the notary business. If they're just getting started, I might be able to offer some tips for their business as well. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.